In our last episode, we highlighted the developmental process from which autism comes about, as well as brain therapy services available to help autistic persons in their growth journey. We also looked into the lives of families with autistic children and gathered their experiences as well as their proudest moments of having an autistic family member. In this episode, we shall be looking at autism activism through the works of Differently Talented Society of Kenya, also known as DTSK. The Differently Talented Society of Kenya is an organization that is committed to the well-being of persons with autism and dedicated to offering user-centered, strength-based, quality services to persons with autism that would enable them to reach their full potential, as well as empowering families affected by autism.
We are doing quite a lot when it comes to autism awareness. And one of those is using the social media platforms that are available, going for media interviews, whether it's TV, whether it's print media, using our Twitter account, our Facebook account, to be able to carry out autism awareness, preparing brochures and flyers with specific messages on autism awareness. We also have now the initiatives that clearly support the young autistic adult, either the young child with autism, the children with autism, being able to refer them for therapy, a mechanism of linking up with the schools that admit our children and that support our children, therapists and professionals that support our children across various fields, organizing for events and workshops and caregiver workshops to be able to take them through mechanisms and ways of taking care of their children and the various challenges that come with autism, and also recognizing the strength and the skills and the areas of talent of persons with autism. At the same time, we also have an initiative like our NITA program, the NITA program that is currently ongoing, where we have young autistic adults being paired with caregivers and training alongside their own family members, people they are comfortable with, people who can be able also to support them, even when they have difficulties in speech and communication, when they have difficulties in behavior, persons who can be able to really understand what is happening and explain to the publics. So when they are paired together, the initiative becomes even much easier, and they can be able to train together, work alongside each other, go home and practice within the home setup. And that is one of the key initiatives that we have. We call it the paired approach, where you identify a family member and you train the autistic person within their areas of interest.
Today, DTSK held a beauty pageant, the Baba na Mama Autism Pageant, that is a day filled with fun, fashion, and interactions of caregivers of autistic persons, some of whom are autistic themselves. The event started off in the morning, where parents, caregivers, and persons living with autism got an opportunity to display and sell different items that they create or outsource. These items varied from Maasai shukas to beadwork items to shoes, clothing items, and so much more. This display was beautiful to see as it showcased the marvelous works that autistic persons can do, some on their own and others with help, but regardless, depicting that they are very much abled and capable like any other person. We got a chance to speak to Alice Mundia, the caregiver to an autistic son and the chairperson of Differently Talented Society of Kenya, DTSK, and she managed to explain what went into organizing such an event.
To be able to plan this kind of an event, of course, it involves a lot of things. For us, we had to come up with a committee. Members of the DTSK management committee were part of that team, and we also had to incorporate other people who are specialized in various areas, like in event planning, videography, photography. And the beauty of our organization, Different Talented Society of Kenya, is that we have requisite skills from our caregivers and the autistic persons, and we were able to bring in quite a number of talent, people with various interests and various professional backgrounds to come in and step in uh, and help us to plan for this specific activity. I would say, yes, a lot of planning needs to be done, resource mobilization, because resources will be required to be able to finance the various items of the budget, um, writing to various organizations, writing to various persons, inviting guests. Yes, definitely a lot of planning has happened.
Later in the afternoon, the main event, which was the beauty pageant, kicked off. It featured different categories of work of caregivers such as hand-stitched outfits, hand-worked jewelry, and all elements of creativity that one could think of. They would thereafter be judged by a panel of 5 judges, some of whom were either caregivers of autistic persons or autistic themselves, and at the end, a Mama and Baba Autism would be crowned the winner. The contestants started off the pageant with displays of traditional outfits that saw beautiful pieces like Kikuyu cultural wear, among others. Thereafter, presentation on modern outfits was done with beautifully added features such as gemstones and different cutouts on shapes, along with eye-catching accessories. These showed pure class and elegance, and even gave a glimpse into the personality of all the contestants through color and vibrance. But the biggest showcase of personality came with the question and answer segment of the pageant, whereby contestants were asked questions about their experience as caregivers. Some of these questions entailed both tough and positive moments with their autistic persons, their aims for the future if they won the Baba or Mama Autism title, among others. The contestants went all out to impress the judges and the audience, some putting on quite the show.
My name is Eric Nui. I have a brother who is 17 years old, autistic and informed too. That's the man I take care of back at home. How has he shaped me to be a man? I think I'm more resilient now than I was 17 years ago. And I've had to deal with a lot back at home. That is taking my mother out of depression, given the autism diagnosis, educating the parents about what autism is. So pretty much, I think I'm a better man now. I can deal with a lot more on a personal level. Rejection still, I think I'm handling that much better now, given the experiences I've had with Linus. Thank you.
Yes. In so many instances, especially my son is an adult, 31 years old. And when we started, or when we noticed he had an issue, the name autism was not even known. So there was no information about it. So it was about me and my family creating awareness, our own awareness, even before we reach out there. And that meant, like I'll give you an example. There's a time I took my son to the doctor, because those days it's like if your son is not speaking, they are not hearing, and that was the information which we were given. But I was so sure my son hears, even if he's not talking. So what I could do, I could go behind him with a sufuria and a spoon and make some noise there, and he would turn. So yeah, that is the creativity we were working with what we had that time.
The judges then went ahead to leave the event hall at KICC to deliberate on the best overall presentations. Thereafter, they came with great news for the people who emerged Baba and Mama Autism respectfully. Jumps of excitement and embraces of joy filled the room as the 2 winners wore their crowns and posed for congratulatory photos with beautiful smiles that reached from ear to ear.
What I loved about the event in general is the organization, the energy here, very welcoming, just overall very well planned. and just good attitude, people who actually know what they're doing and talking about. And what I've actually really enjoyed is the children also who are here and being let to be who they are. They are playing around, dancing, so I really, really enjoy that. I'm actually overwhelmed by the thought that someone thought of the parents and the caregivers, because most of the time we get kind of forgotten. Yes, we are trying to get the best care for our children, but who is taking care of us? Because we also need special care. We need to keep, each other uplifted and just knowing that we are not alone. So I love the idea, and just God bless, and I hope we can get more of this because we need it. We need it.
In Kenya, the United Disabled Persons of Kenya, where I sit, and I can say that is what has made me be who I am today in all the other committees that I am in, is because of the United Disabled Persons of Kenya, which as an umbrella organization of many disabled people's organizations, is able to reach out, even has a position in the board for a parent or a caregiver, so that whenever we are making our decisions, whenever we are discussing, like we say, nothing about us without us, there is no way we can exclude the caregivers or people who assist us as personal assistants, because most of us are not able to equally enjoy the freedoms that are around and enjoy being in the community, at leisure, at sports, in cultural places, when you want to dance, when you want to go out, without support from our caregivers or our assistants. Some of the disabilities cannot enjoy that kind of space on an equal basis with others.
I would say we have come a long journey. I began the advocacy journey in 2010, so meaning that it's almost 13 years ago. And when we began, very little awareness was happening then. And I have seen the explosion of autism awareness in this country. I have seen so many progresses being made, including the government setting aside the 50 million budget for persons with neurodevelopmental disabilities. So I have a lot of hope that we are going to break the barriers of access, barriers of persons with autism being understood, and our hope is that we will have a society that takes care of the needs of all neurodiverse persons across board. Yes.
As the night crept in, it was definitely an elated close to a lovely event. People then bid each other goodbye and wishes of safe travels were uttered.